Amigas y amigos de Metalópolis, ¿cómo están? El día de hoy estamos con Marty Friedman, uno de los mejores guitarristas que ha visto este mundo, con un estilo único que le ha permitido triunfar en el metal durante la época dorada de Megadeth, pero también en el shred, tanto en Cacophony, al lado de Jason Becker, como en su proyecto solista de muchos años. Marty vive actualmente en Japón desde hace más de 20 años y ha forjado una carrera muy prominente en este país, pero el día de hoy nos acompaña desde Beijing, China, para platicar sobre su próxima gira por Latinoamérica, en donde especialmente estaremos hablando sobre su visita al lunario del Auditorio Nacional el próximo 21 de junio, en un concierto a cargo de Ice Cream Productions, donde estará promocionando su más reciente lanzamiento, el disco Drama. So Marty, welcome to Metallopolis. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me. Doing
Yeah,
great.
it's always a pleasure to have such an icon of the guitar. So, how do you feel about being back here in Mexico City? How do you like Mexico in general?
Mexico in general is a very special place for me, and in particular, Mexico City is such a deep feeling for me and my band. We recorded our live album there, and it was a magical night. I'm so glad that we documented that on an album. The audience was just so incredibly passionate and warm, and just the response to everything was just so amazing for us. We couldn't believe we were having such a great show, and the audience was just so with us, and they left such a big impression on us that you know it's really a kind of a big important part of my history. And we haven't played in Mexico since then, and that was like 2018 or 2019. And
18,
so,
right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of us, all of us have had big life changes since then. The world changed,
Right.
and so it's going to be really, really coming full circle to come back to Mexico after everything. And in the meantime, my band has just gone completely through the roof and just gotten bigger and better and more of whatever it was that we had before. It's more of that and more strength and more positive, uplifting, fun of a show. And I just cannot wait to share it to the people in Mexico City and in Monterrey and Guadalajara, where we've never been before. We've never played there.
Okay.
I've never played there with my band, so it's a very important and special moment for myself and for the band.
Excellent. Yeah, that sounds very exciting to go for the first time to Guadalajara, Monterrey. So I've had the pleasure of watching you perform live twice. The first time was actually that one time in Mexico City in 2018, and the second one was back in 2023. I got to see you perform with your solo project, but also with Megadeth that one time. So my question is, how different is it for you to play in Japan, your home now, in Europe, and in Latin America, like a comparison?
Every single continent, of course, is different, but even every single country is different.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
Something that is kind of important to me is I really like to soak up the cultural music of each country and try to like allow myself to let some of that feeling into my music. The biggest example maybe is in Argentina. I really fell in love with Piazzolla's music to the point where I played a Piazzolla concert in Buenos Aires, and I played a Piazzolla concert in Japan, and I'm doing two more Piazzolla shows in August and September in Japan. And so that's just a big example of
Hmm.
how I can be influenced by the places I go. But on a smaller level, everywhere I go, I'm listening to the local music. So, the music in Mexico is going to be very different from the music in China, where I'm at right now.
Hmm.
And all of it, I love to let it hit me like a sponge because that's what allows my music to be whatever it is. It comes a lot from the cultures. So it's hard to compare each culture, each continent. but they're all so different, even when they speak the same language. As you know,
Mhm.
Mexican Spanish is different from Spanish in Peru
Right.
and Spanish in Argentina. So there's so much more depth when you actually stay there for a few days and play shows and meet people and work with people and play with local musicians. You can really feel like you've been in that country. So every different country has something different to offer. And that's one of my favorite things about touring. That's why I still tour so much.
Excellent, excellent. So you've lived in Japan for more than 20 years now, right? After all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
years, what does Japan mean to you?
What's my what?
Yeah, after all these years, what does Japan mean to you, like personally?
Oh, okay. Well, Japan is like my home. I mean, it is my home. And I've lived longer in Japan in one city than I
Mhm.
have in any other city that I've lived in my whole life. Um,
Yeah.
I've lived in a lot of different places. I grew up in Maryland, and I
Hmm.
lived in Hawaii and Germany and Arizona and Los Angeles, San Francisco, everywhere. Um, but Japan is the longest where I've been in the same place for a long time. So I feel very natural there. But at the same time, I also feel natural in a lot of cities that I've toured in many times.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like a global citizen sometime. I don't feel terribly out of place here in China right now, for example.
Right. Yeah. They're kind of similar, I guess, right? So now you've played pop music, you've played rock music, metal, of course, shred. Even though you're so versatile, how would you describe your signature sound, so to speak, throughout all these genres?
Yeah, I try not to think about genres too much. I have played in a lot of different situations for sure. Um, I think I like to. It's hard to describe your own music, but when sometimes people say it's elegant or romantic, even in like a loud setting, like really intense heavy metal,
Hmm.
I kind of like hearing that when people feel that way. Um, I like to think that I put an ethnic kind of melodic taste
Okay.
into whatever it is I do. Um, like I said before, I like to pick up things from different countries, and I'm not just you know your kind of guitar hero type that learned from the master rock guitarists and blues players and all that, and all the fancy players. I learned so much more just from being in many different locations
Hmm.
and picking up on local instruments and local music. That did a lot more for me.
Great. That's a very nice label. That ethnic and melodic style, I liked it.
Thanks.
So many people in the metal world know you because of Megadeth, right? But not all of them maybe follow your solo project. Does that bother you in any way to be still associated with Megadeth?
It's a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, Megadeth is a great band. It was a great period of my life. I'm very proud of everything. Megadeth was a great band before I joined, and they're a great band after I joined, after I left.
Mhm.
So, there's nothing to be upset about. It casts a very big shadow on anything, and but still, I have done 16 solo albums, and the fans of those solo albums have a very, very deep connection to the music. It may not be quite as commercial as Megadeth was when I was in the band, but it's exactly what I want to do. So basically, if you're a fan of any period of my career, I'm very happy about it. But the reason I tour so much and I love touring is because I love to play with my band now. It's a band that is just going to blow your mind. It's going to make you feel really good when you leave the venue. You know what I mean? You're going to leave feeling uplifted. It's not going to be like, oh, wow, Marty's a great guitar player. I'm so impressed by his guitar playing. It's not going to be that at all. you're going to walk away feeling like, I just had so much fun. I forgot that I'm in an instrumental music concert.
That is absolutely true. I can remember that time in 2018 watching you play with your bass player Kiyoshi, I think, and your drumming with all this visual kei. It's just fun to watch, and that is the purpose, I think, of live music, right?
Thank you very
So,
much.
what is the main challenge of doing instrumental music, as you just explained a bit,
Well,
right?
the main challenge is, and not a whole lot of people get excited when they hear the words instrumental music. Um, so it's a hard sell to a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people. Um, we've added some vocal parts in our concerts. Not many, but a couple. But I like that challenge because, like I said, I want people to walk away thinking, I can't believe I was at an instrumental show and I was sweating so much and jumping up and down and screaming and having fun and getting involved in the show. It's not just a display of technique at all, as you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
because you saw it in 2019, but it's gone so much farther in that direction now in 2025. So I think the people who saw us in Mexico City are going to be, their expectations are going to be kind of blown away.
Great, great. That's great to hear. So, Marty, for those people who have never listened to your solo music, not a single song, which is the best track to get started with that?
And eh, pick any one, any one, but maybe the most recent music video that we just released is a song called Tearful Confession.
A beautiful one.
Oh, thank you very much. So that's the first one that comes to my mind.
Okay, great. So that's a good recommendation. So, what is left to do for Marty Friedman? What's your biggest wish now, musically speaking?
My biggest wish is just to play for more people and have more people discover what my band is all about. Um, we just played yesterday in Shanghai, China. It's the
Mhm.
first time my band has ever played in China, and it's like finding all of these new people who are discovering us, and I'm really enjoying that. So I plan to keep doing it all around the world.
Excellent. And besides music, what's the most important thing in your life?
Oh well, there's music, but there's also family and
Mhm.
food and sex. Those are the big ones.
Those are the big ones. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So on this tour, you'll be playing your most recent album, Drama, from where this song comes. This tune that you just mentioned, Tearful Confession. Why did you choose that name for that album, Drama, and what does this album mean to you nowadays?
The title comes from just when you have drama in your life. Maybe you're the same way, but like when there's a lot of drama in my life,
Mhm.
I don't really use drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But sometimes when you want to relieve your stress, sometimes music is the best way to just kind of chill out.
Mhm.
And so when life gets really dramatic, there's certain musical pieces of work that every single person goes to. It's
Mhm.
like a special, this guy listens to this, that guy listens to that. But each person knows exactly what it is that they want to hear when just life is going crazy. And I wanted to be that person. I wanted people to have a place to go and when their life is dramatic, and the whole concept of the entire album is to make you feel uplifted even though the songs are very dark and sad. um, there is a very curing quality to the music that I worked very hard on keeping that concept together on the drama album. So like when life is in drama, for those people who go to music for their relief, I wanted to be that person.
Great, great, excellent. So finally, what can we expect from the show in Mexico City in terms of set list? Maybe some songs from the past album, some drama, maybe some other things that we're not expecting. And also, what do you expect from Mexican fans on this June 21st in Mexico City?
Well, what I expect is what I saw last time we played there. I'm expecting to see that um, on a much, much bigger level because we've really upped the energy in what we were doing. Even though it was crazy energetic last time we were there, we've learned so much and we've toured all around the world. We've toured so much since then and really become kind of the best version of my band so
Mhm.
far. So I expect the people to respond to that. But the set list, of course, we're going to play a lot of the drama stuff, but the drama stuff is kind of a really good balance to the very aggressive stuff. The
Mhm.
drama album is mostly ballads, and it's great as it is, but like I think the ballads sound even more balladier, balladier
Yeah,
when they're kind of sandwiched between two extreme metal tracks than just by themselves. So we kind of like mix up the set list with a lot of different kind of emotions, a lot of mountains and valleys and brick walls and just a lot of things a lot of surprises.
excellent, great. So finally, any message for your Latin or Hispanic followers, just to invite them to the show, or just in general?
I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. Um, like I said, the Mexico City show we did last time left such a big impression on me and the band, all about Mexico. And so I'm very, very curious to see what kind of fans we're going to meet in Monterrey and Guadalajara. And we're going to start our journey there and hopefully play even more cities in Mexico next time. But anytime we get to play somewhere new, it's so exciting for us to meet the people, to try the local food, to hear the local music as much as we can. And Monterrey, I was in Monterrey once with Megadeth, but
Mhm.
um, I never played in Guadalajara. I actually went to Guadalajara on a college trip, actually, a college study trip.
Right?
It was very, very interesting, but I never played there. So we're just looking forward to so many new experiences there, and we all love the Mexican people so much, and the food. Um, I think it's called tacos pastor.
Tacos al pastor, right? Yes.
Oh my God, that's the first thing we're gonna do when we get there. But yeah, it's just we're so excited to play there. It's very important to us.